The well-awaited story time that everybody's been waiting for. Let me start by saying, at the time that this video occurred, me and my child's father were not together. We had broken up for a couple months at that point. He had scheduled weekends that he got her, and that's what it was. This specific day, it was his weekend to have her. I was at work. Now, I can't honestly remember what he got mad about, but he got mad about something, started texting my phone, talking crap, da-da-da-da-da-da. I had to work the rest of the weekend. I did not have another sitter. So at this point, I'm distraught. Like, what am I going to do with my child? So he's like, I'm dropping her off at so-and-so's house. Mind you, so-and-so's house is not a place that my baby girl be at. So when he said that, I was like, oh, hell no. So I left work super fast, speedy and quick, and went and got my baby from so-and-so house. After getting my baby girl from so-and-so house, I called his mom and I'm like, yo, what is going on? Pause. His mom comes into play because my baby was supposed to originally be at her house. You know, when you got a baby dad and he get the kid, but the kid be at the mama's house. Yeah, that type of situation. So I call the mama like, what's going on and why is my baby not there? She tells me, bring her back. I know you have to work this weekend. Bring her back. She's fine. I'll keep her. Okay. So what do? I get in my car and I go back over there with my baby. The minute I pull up, this crazy man zooms in behind me. I don't know if he knew I was on my way. I don't know if his senses, I don't know if he's got a tracker. I don't know, but he zoomed up in the parking lot behind me and tried to get in my car. So once he starts pulling on the door handle, I'm like, oh, hell no. Let me get my phone out, because if this man is going to do anything to me or my belongings, it's going to be recorded. He had done so much to me at that point that no, wasn't getting away with it this time, but he did. When I pulled my phone out, it happened so quick. Everybody's in the comments like, why didn't you pull off? I did. The video is a 5-second video. Like, I'm going to post the original video so that everybody can see how long that I really sat there after it occurred. But I didn't just sit there and allow him to just beat in my windshield. I got the little documentation that I needed in the video, and then I skirted myself, okay? So relax in the comments. Okay, I can't make y'all wait any longer for part 2, so let's just get into it. Now, if you're new here, my baby dad completely shattered my windshield with a grill. You can check out my previous videos for reference. The original video is a couple seconds longer than what I posted. Towards the end of the video, it's probably about 5 seconds longer. You can see his mom and his sister full-blown, face on the camera, screaming at me to pull off. I cropped that out to save their faces. You bitches can thank me later. Now, I mentioned that I was sitting there to record because I needed my little evidence, but I also was in shock. So at that moment, when they were screaming at me, I kind of like snapped out of it and I pulled off. Now, when I pulled off, I was still so upset. I could hardly see. My windshield was completely shattered. I had no clue what to do at that point. All that I could think of, obviously, was to call 911. Yes, I did call 911. For everyone who's so curious, yes, I called 911. So I'm on the phone with the 911 operator, and I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm trying to give some sense of direction as to where I am located. I was so distraught that just wasn't even possible. So I went back to his mom's house, and I gave them the address to his mom's house to come meet me there. Now, I know you guys are going to be like, why would she go back? I knew that he wasn't going to be there, so I had no problem going back. I knew that he left when I left, and I knew that, I know him. I knew he would not be there. Okay, so I go back to his mom's house, and I'm sitting outside waiting for 911. Now, in this moment, it was probably only about 10 minutes that I had to wait on 911, but it felt like literal forever. I'm bawling. I'm so upset. I'm trying to calm myself down. My daughter's bawling, trying to calm her down. It was crazy. Now, in the midst of all of this, his mom was still at the house. She never left. And this is where it gets crazy. Eat me up for part 3 in the comments, so here it is. If you're new here, my baby dad shattered my windshield with a grill. You can check out my previous videos for reference. Okay, on part 3, I left off where I had just pulled back up to his mom's house to wait on the police to arrive. Let me start off by saying this lady was so mad at me for bringing the cops to her house. Furious, like, I don't play that police stuff, da 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 da, but your son just literally smashed my windshield in. Anyways, so as I'm in the car trying to console my daughter, I noticed that she literally shuts her front door. She doesn't come out to check on us. This is what's like so mind-blowing to me. She never once came outside to check on her granddaughter, who was in the car distraught from her son throwing a grill at our car. So she never came out and checked to see if she was okay, if I was okay. She actually closed the door, closed her curtains, and made it look like she wasn't even home. So the cops arrived, they get my side of the story. He's obviously not there. So no, they did not take him to jail. For everyone asking in the comments, no, he did not go to jail. However, I did continue to go ahead and file a police report. Now this video is a little old. I want to say it happened maybe a little over a year ago. So all this time has passed by and I've heard nothing from the incident. Nobody's reached out to me. I haven't got any paperwork in the mail about a court date, anything at all, up until 2 months ago. So 2 months ago, I received a letter on my door, and it was from a sheriff, and he said that he needed to meet with me. Now, at the time that the sheriff came and left the note on my door, it had been months. So this incident honestly wasn't even in my mind at that time. The only thing that I could think of was he was trying to get custody of my daughter. So I met with the sheriff and I had to sign, and he handed me a paper stating that I had to show up to court. So he wasn't able to really give me details. All that he was able to tell me was it had to do with my baby dad. So I'm still thinking at this point that it's still in regards to like a custody. He's trying to take me to court for custody. So there was a number on the paper that I was able to call and get some information about, and that's when they informed me that this court date was actually for him shattering my windshield. Mind you, the time between when I got that letter and when he did it, it was months. So I had completely forgot about it. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I showed up to court, I was terrified of seeing this man. I hadn't seen him in so long. I just didn't know what was going to occur at that point. So I show up to court and I sit and I wait for probably over an hour, and he never shows. One of the ladies come out and she's talking to me and she's asking me, you know, what do you want to do about the situation? And honestly, at that time, it had been so long that I didn't want to reopen old wounds. I didn't want to cause my daughter more trauma. I didn't want to go through the process of having to deal with him and his anger and everything again. Now, you guys are going to think I'm insane for that, but you got to understand, at that point, he was not in my life. He had nothing to do with me or my child. I hadn't talked to him or dealt with him in forever. So I didn't feel the need to reopen all of that. I didn't feel the need to insert him back into my life by having to show back up to court and go through all of that. And Lord only knows what would have come from me pressing charges. And honestly, that's probably what I was most scared about, not knowing what he would have done, the repercussions that would have came from continuing to press charges. So yes, I did just say, forget about it. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I dropped the charges. And I just want to say, I also appreciate everybody who stuck around and really wanted to hear my story. I can't thank you guys enough for all of the follows, the likes, the shares, the comments, everything. Words of encouragement. You guys are literally the sweetest. And I appreciate you so much for following along on my journey. And I can't wait to share more with you guys. All right, you nosy motherfuckers, listen up. You guys are flooding my comments for an update. I'm here to give you one. If you're new here, my baby dad took a grill to my windshield and shattered it completely. You can check out my previous videos for reference. I think the number one asked question in the comments was, does he know that you posted the video and went viral? Honestly, I don't for sure know that he knows, but I'm pretty confident because of the way that his family have been treating me. So I mentioned before, he does not see her whatsoever, neither does his family. Nobody is actively in her life at this time. So I haven't really talked to them, but I did run into them. Just so happened to run into his mom and his sister, and they were not pleased, to say the least, to see me. So let's get into what happened when I saw them for the first time since all of this has occurred. I'm nosy, so there was a wreck on the side of the road. I was on the way to take my kids to the park, and we stopped and we looked at the wreck like everybody else did because I'm a nosy bitch. So during that process, I happened to just like turn my head a little bit, and I saw my daughter's brother. So my daughter instantly runs up to her brother, gives him a hug, and I follow right behind her. And I realize that it's my baby dad's sister that is with the little boy. She mumbles something under her breath to me, and I honestly wasn't really paying attention to what she said, so I didn't catch on at first. But after a few seconds, I was like, wait, what? And she was like, you're lucky that I'm sparing you because my niece is here. So that would tell me that she's obviously mad that I posted the video, so she's sparing me because her niece is here. So we turn back around and we finish watching all that's occurring with the wreck when his mother decides to walk up to the scene. She's seen her and she's like, Nana, and Nana looks and rolls her eyes and doesn't even acknowledge my child. When she doesn't acknowledge my child, I say, oh, never mind, Nana's not speaking to you today. And she has the nerve to say, no, Peach, I'm not speaking to you. But you still didn't speak to her either, so what? Okay, so we ended up leaving, and since then I have not seen or heard from any of them. Okay, so that's kind of really the update. That's where we are right now. They're still not happy. I'm still doing me and living life. Bye.